Welcome to the Lummy Sports Show with Rhett. What's up, Rhett?
What's up, Lummy? How you doing?
Sorry we're late a little bit. With the morning show going till, I think it was about 10:03, 10:04.
Hard out.
It takes a little bit longer to get ready. We had to kind of do something with the recorder.
Once you fired that disclaimer, we had to go.
Yeah, misfire. I thought Bubba might have just said, screw it.
He just blew his load a little early.
That's okay. It was a great show.
It was. I thought it was.
Got that Todd Bowl. Sorry. I was trying to... My microphone thing here is just messing up.
It's okay. I'm also fucking with my microphone still.
You look good, though.
Couple of amateurs here on the Sports Show.
Listen, usually we're better prepared. Bubba, like we said, Stein went a little bit late. Bubba has a lot to talk about. We have Twitch on our minds, Seth on our minds, everything. I'm trying to get all the Rumble, YouTube platforms up.
You got Seth on your mind?
Of course I got Seth on my mind. Who couldn't have Seth on their mind?
Thinking about him?
Oh, of course. He's outside cleaning up his car a little bit before I think Bubba goes and does the YouTube with them.
Mm-hmm.
That should be fun. What time does that other one get released, Rhett?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. So we should be done. I think we'll be done by then.
Yeah. We'll be done by then. We usually have been running about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, we don't normally run wild.
813-90 Bubba, 813-90-BUBBA. We'll take your calls. I'm sure we'll get Little Purple call in. We'll, get Hinstar. People that really want to talk about the football games that have been going on, what's going on with the coaches.
Before we talk about anything, you want to talk about the Bucks?
You want to get right into the Bucks?
Yeah, you don't?
That was probably one of the best games that I've been to in a very long time.
Yeah, I am upset that I didn't go. I knew that I had podcast shit to do after the game, but from what I heard, I think people were overreacting about the number of Eagles fans in there. I think
disagree.
Really? You
yes.
think you think there was? I know that there's going to be a decent amount of green jerseys just because they're one of those fan bases that travel.
Go Pack, go! Neil Mount Blazer 999 Super Chat Go Pack Go. I was actually kind of waiting for that. That was one I was waiting for.
That's how you know the sports show started.
Exactly, especially when the Packers win.
Yeah. Yeah, the Packers and the Bucks. A lot of similarities between those two teams this year, but I just wanted to talk about the Bucks because.
So, what's your complaint hearing on the attendance from the Eagle fans?
What's my complaint? I don't have a complaint. I've heard a lot of people, say the same old thing they do every time we play a team like Philly, where there was way too many green jerseys. It was like 60-40, more Philly fans than us.
No.
And it didn't seem like that. It seemed like a lot of people had a lot of good things to say about the atmosphere. Yes. And that they really haven't heard it that loud and that ruckus for a Bucks game in quite some time.
Whoever you talked to must have not been looking at the correct game. I made a comment to even the Diacos when I went up to their box around halftime. And I said, wow, this is surprising. I said I expected a way more Philly fans for this game. And then we talked about, what was it, the week 4 or 5 game?
Yeah, week 3 when they played on Monday night.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, that was like 60-40. This was like 70-30 Bucks.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, the Bucks, or at least, whatever they could control, they put like a stipulation in that you could only resell tickets to other Bucks fans. Maybe that was just a general consensus among the ticket reselling community, but whatever they did, it worked, and I'm happy to see that because, during the regular season, when we play a game that has a fan base like that, I really don't care that much because it's Florida, it's Tampa, it's where we are. It's part of what this town will always be. The people who have moved here who haven't lived here their whole life outnumber the amount of people who have lived here their entire life.
And there's nothing you can do to talk them out of wearing their jerseys.
Correct. So during the regular season, I don't give a shit. But when you've got a team to support in the postseason, that warms my red and pewter heart to know that, there was a good amount of Bucks fans. It looked like a great time. But I'm so happy for this team. I know it sounds corny, but like Todd Bowles lost me at one point this season when they had lost 6 out of their last 7. And Baker Mayfield, I've been rooting for the guy all year, but I wasn't entirely convinced. And, seeing how they have just come around. I know the Eagles were a wounded team, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, the Bucs couldn't do it against a real playoff team. But
well, hold on. Let me ask you, how many defensive players were the Eagles down?
Not too many, I don't think.
I mean, any superstars that you can think of? I mean, I'm taking your. Yep, I'm taking that as the Bucs offense looked pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
I mean, if you can't name anyone, I mean, look, we can name some offensive guys, and we know Jalen Hurts was a little banged up, but I don't know if the defense really won us that game as much as the offense coming out and just driving down their first two drives. They looked like a totally different team.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing the defense did for us was stop the run game, because they couldn't do that at all last time they played Philly, and that was the huge difference maker. Philly, without A.J. Brown, could not throw the ball. They could not develop a rhythm. The only deep shot they had was that eventual touchdown where they took that huge deep shot to Devontae Smith. They tackled him at like the 4 yard line, set up the quick touchdown afterwards. But I think just this team getting hot at the right time, coming around at the right time, and you also hear about what a cohesive team unit they are. It just makes you feel good about where the Bucs are going to be headed in the future, because I was ready to move on from Todd Bowles when this team was 4-7, hanging on to a lifeless NFC South division. And they have shown me that despite the inconsistencies and some of the shitty play that I've seen this year, when this Bucs team is at their best, they can compete as a playoff team. And that's awesome, because even if we beat Philly, it would have been awesome. But if we beat Philly by 3 points, it's just a much different feeling than beating Philly by 23, 24 points the way they did.
By completely dominating them.
Yeah, in all three phases.
And I think that there would be someone hard to argue with that come in and try to argue with us on this one, that we didn't just put our foot to their throats in the first quarter and then kind of keep it there.
And as a fan, I'm excited. I'm excited for Bowles. I'm excited for Baker, but I'm excited for consistency as well. Like, I know that a majority of Bowles' staff is made up from Arians' staff that he brought in 2019, but Bowles did a lot of cutting. He changed offensive coordinators. He's got a first-year play caller, first-year OC, and Dave Canales, who has kind of taken his lumps this year, but he's really come around. And I think if he can draw up another good game plan against Detroit next week, I mean, if we get the same Bucs team that played Philly that plays Detroit next week, it's going to be a great game.
Let's take first call, 813.
Lummy, Rhett,
what's up,
White
buddy?
Iced Tea.
White Iced Tea.
How you guys doing?
You were at
What's
that
up, man?
game.
Hey.
You agree with me on that attendance?
I was thinking more 85-15. I've
go.
barely seen any Eagle fans in my section. Great game to be at. One of the most exciting games I've ever been at. And I'm just glad that we got at least a playoff win.
Well, and especially against the Eagles, too, though. It always feels that much better
great.
when you hand it to the Eagles.
Bucs have beat the Eagles 5 out of the last 6 times they played.
Yeah, you got to love
It's
that.
second greatest, probably the second most exciting game I've been to as far as being a Bucs fan. I did go to the Super Bowl, so that's definitely number one. This was a great game to be at, and I honestly thought it would be 50-50 Eagles-Bucs just because of how many people from Pennsylvania live in our area. Looks like they didn't show up, though.
Well, if you think about it, people call the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, and a lot of Tampa Bay fans, fair weather, or whatever they want to call it. But it's weird. A lot of Philly fans that I was talking to at the time, they didn't even want to go to the game because they're like they're going to lose.
Yeah, it must not have been a team worth showing up for if that's really how they felt.
It's weird because when let's say the Bucs are down, the media attacks us. Oh, look, Tampa Bay, fair weather fans, no one shows up because the team's not good. There's not loyalty. There were so many Philly fans. I was like, hey, you guys going to go? Oh, we're not going to go. Why? It's not worth it. Okay.
And how about everybody who dressed up for the thunderstorms that was supposed to be between 8 and 9 o'clock and didn't happen? I was very happy that didn't happen.
No, me too. It was that. Yeah, that would have been. I wore sweatshirts. So
yeah, did you?
Good.
So you guys didn't get much rain. It didn't look like it on TV.
We didn't get any rain.
Awesome.
Nothing. Maybe it drizzled for like 20 seconds,
If that, yeah.
in it barely anything. It was a fantastic game. Hopefully we win next week. Hopefully Green Bay wins so we can get that NFC championship home game. That would be fantastic.
Exactly.
Pulling for that, for sure. Anyways, great seeing you guys at Bark, and you guys have a great day.
You too. Thanks, White Dice T. Let's go last one. 702.
Hey, Lummy, Rhett, Las Vegas Mario. How you guys doing today?
What's up, Las Vegas Mario? Stumpy 62, 400 bits.
Hey, just wanted to ask you, what do you guys think now, like Todd Bowles? Are you guys a fan now? Is it because he made the playoffs, or are you guys still kind of, we need to change that? Or what do you guys think of Todd Bowles? I know you guys weren't a fan earlier.
I'm fine with Todd Bowles. I'll give my opinion first. I'm fine with Todd Bowles. I wasn't really much of a hater to get rid of him. I mean, I thought if obviously they just tanked, we probably would need to switch up the whole entire staff. Just because, as Rhett said, it's kind of a Bruce Arians built staff, and maybe it was just time for a shakeup. But I mean, I always liked Todd Bowles' defensive theme for when his blitzes, and I know he kind of lets it off a little bit, but I didn't mind that as long as he has the personnel. And the way they played and have been playing with Dave Canales' offense, I think there's a future there because Todd is very Coach Bowles is very hands off with the offense.
Yeah, I've never been the biggest fan of Todd Bowles as a head coach. I've loved him as a defensive coordinator. I love the way that this defense has played the last 5 years he's been here in Tampa. But I definitely think he deserves a lot of the credit for the way that this Bucs team has come around this year. He deserves a lot of the credit when they're bad, so he sure as shit deserves a lot of the credit when they are good the way that they have been. And, I wanted to move on from him. I was at that point, but I also always understood the argument of keeping him around for the sake of continuity and consistency. You hear about the players who love playing for him. I know that he's not that exciting when you hear him talk or see clips of him in the locker room, but Tony Dungy wasn't that exciting. And honestly, nobody had a problem with it because Tony Dungy won football games.
Yep.
So for Todd Bowles, he is, over the first 2 seasons as head coach of the Bucs, he is tied for third behind Gruden and I want to say Bruce Arians for most wins in franchise history, back-to-back division titles, and here we are with a dominant playoff win in year 2.
Wait, it can't be Arians. It's got to be Tony Dungy.
For win totals in the first 2 years.
Oh, first 2 years. Okay, sorry.
First two,
sorry.
yeah,
definitely not Dungy. Sorry, I thought you meant like just.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it was Arians, Gruden, and then I think Bowles is now third.
Nice.
But yeah, I think he deserves a lot of credit. I think he has been doing a good job. And, regardless of how far this playoff run goes, I still don't expect the Bucs to win the Super Bowl. It would be a nice surprise. But I'm looking for more improvement next year, and that'll kind of help me make up my mind on if I want him here long term or not. Because if the Bucs go out with Baker in this same regime next year, and the NFC South looks like shit, and they win it with 8 or 9 wins, I don't love that. I need to see improvement, but I definitely like what he's done this year, and he deserves a lot of credit.
Their schedule is tough, though.
Yeah, they got a first-place schedule.
Nice. Thank you, fellas. Yeah, that answered my question. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Las Vegas Mario. Yeah, no, I mean, I think if they're, especially going into the draft, I think we need to get maybe another stud offensive lineman. I think we're, unless someone drops to us on a defensive line perspective, I think we need to shore up our linebackers, our cornerbacks. I think we need to maybe get another wide receiver option. I think that definitely we need to bring in a strong offensive lineman. I think we need to use our first 2 picks for an offensive line.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some moving around on that interior offensive line. Like Robert Hainsey has been our starting center for the last 2 years, and he's not even a natural center. So I want to believe they just want to get a little more of a dog in there. Aaron Stinney, as good as the Bucs were against Philly, Aaron Stinney was probably the weakest link for most of the day.
Yeah.
And he is kind of fallen apart here in the second half of the season, which is why he was a backup. He played well in that playoff run in 2020, but he's a guy the Bucs have kept around as a second and third string offensive lineman, and you're starting to see why.
Which is fine. We need good backups too.
Yeah, absolutely. He is a good backup, and he can play really well for 3, 4, maybe 5 games. On the other side of the trenches, though, I do want to give a little more credit to Todd Bowles while we sit here and just glaze the head coach. The development of Kalijah Kancey and Yaya Diaby this year cannot be understated. And I think really some of these other Bucs defensive draft picks, I know that Devin White didn't ultimately work out. He's going to end up signing somewhere else. The Bucks are not going to bring him back.
No.
But Antoine Winfield Jr. is probably going to be the highest paid safety in the NFL, whether he's franchise tagged this year or gets his extension next year.
Or makes a Pro Bowl.
First team AP All-Pro, which you do love to see.
Yes.
But he was not on the NFL Players All-Pro first team. He was on second team for that. And then, of course, you just mentioned didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Which is crazy, but,
Yeah.
It is what it is. A lot of people don't even give two shits about the Pro Bowl anymore. So, obviously, you also got to give credit to Casey Rogers, the defensive line.
Yeah, Casey
coach.
Rogers, Larry Foote,
Yeah.
those are your co-defensive coordinators for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know a lot of people just assume that Todd Bowles is an all-in-one defensive guy, but he does head coach shit, and Casey Rogers, Larry Foote, they do a lot of work as co-defensive coordinators. They've been doing well. They've been here for a lot of years, too.
Yeah, Larry Foote, former, I believe, Steelers with the linebacker, right? He was a former
Yeah.
Steeler.
Yeah, and then how about Tom Moore, man?
Yeah.
Pushing 90 years old. And they were talking about him on the Manning cast Monday night.
Is he there? He
yeah,
is.
there
I
he
was
is,
looking
man.
I was
Looking
looking for him on the.
Looking jolly as ever.
Oh, of course.
He's
can tell
a
90.
he's a four-lifer. He told Tom Brady retirement's overrated.
Well, you could tell he's not. His wife at home is not making him too happy.
Oh God.
239. I do have a question for you in
Hey,
chat
Rhett.
too.
Lummy, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Hinsar. This is one guy
Hey.
that moves to Florida and changes
Mm-hmm.
to be a Bucks fan.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I own it. I self-admit it.
Yeah, it's all right. You
I'm
still
all
got
in.
that cheesy jersey, but what's up there, Hinstar? What's your great take today? Are you going to tell us? Are you going to ask us the same question that Todd Bowles got asked? What we think about the temperature that's going to be in Detroit and how the Bucks are going to? Last week you didn't come strong with your question, so.
Wow, man. No. Anyways,
Let's hear this.
so
Go
I was
ahead.
watching the game, and my question is, I got two questions and I got a comment. But watching the game this weekend, or last weekend, which I did say there's going to be some upsets, and you kind of lambasted me, and I was right about it. Is it really that big of an upset? I see the Texans winning this game. You guys agree with me, or think I'm crazy?
Texans versus? Are you talking about this week's game?
Yeah.
They're playing Baltimore, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know
They're
what?
playing Baltimore.
Listen, obviously, this show, everyone says we hate Baltimore. I don't see Baltimore losing to Houston.
I don't see Baltimore losing to Houston, but I will support this agenda to a degree. I did put a bet in this morning for what was the line when I saw it? Houston +9.
I think it got up to 10. I think
It was 10 when I put it in this
+9
morning.
right now.
Yeah.
It was 10 when I got it this morning. Right now it's +9 on the Hard Rock app. But 10 points is a lot of
Yeah.
fucking points for a playoff game, and I think C.J. Stroud is good enough to make this a game. But I don't see Baltimore losing, especially because they are playing in Baltimore.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think the weather is going to be better for Baltimore, and obviously Lamar Jackson. He's the candidate right now for the MVP. I mean, unless Lamar just is going to flop in the playoffs and get that rep like Dak Prescott, I just don't see it on this week.
And speaking of Dak, did you guys watch the game and see the look on his face during the game and how he was like breathing and his eyes were like wide open?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he
here
looked
we
like he was
go.
shell-shocked or something.
Well, I don't
He
know.
looked like, no, he looked like
here
he
we
was
go.
nervous, man.
I don't think you've.
Man, I was worried about the guy.
I don't know if you really have watched too much Cowboys football. That kind of is the look.
It's that Caden's wearing him out.
That look. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of that look on
He's
his face.
using up way too much stamina. Oh yeah, here we
Yeah.
go. They're at the offense, or they're at the line of scrimmage before every single play.
That's why Jameis was never good. He did the same thing.
Yeah, he's
His
just out of air.
His pregame speeches took everything out of him. So that's Dak right there. Maybe they'll trade Dak to the
That was very
Panthers.
cringeworthy.
Yeah, it was pretty
That
bad.
was
But
very
that
cringeworthy.
he always looks kind of lost a lot of times that I've watched Cowboy games because Fox loves the Cowboys.
Well, I was watching the game and I'd never seen that before. And I haven't watched too many Cowboy games, but the ones that I have watched, I didn't see them always panning off to him and stuff. And I don't know, man, he looked like he was having an anxiety attack or something. I kind of felt bad for the guy for a little bit. Then I got over it and loved watching him lose.
Yeah, when I look at my bank account, I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah, I start to feel bad, and then I remember it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, and then I also remember that he's making $100 million, whatever, for his contract, and I don't see myself ever being there. So then I say, you know what, fuck it, I'll have a smile on my face if I was on the sidelines, And what's your other take there, big guy, Mr. Tennis?
I'm surprised that you guys. I feel like you don't feel like the Bucks' success right now might hurt them in the future.
No, not because of that playoff game. Nope, the playoff game.
No.
The playoff game put that to bed.
Yep.
If they would have lost by 30 points, then you could make that argument, but they won by 24, 23.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be this regime until it's not.
Yep. That is 100%. And they're going to try to keep this core, and they're going to try to build on it because like Rhett said, if they would have lost by 30, the whole team's going to get shaken up. They're going to be, they probably wouldn't re-sign some players. They would have probably got rid of half the coaching staff. But no, with that win, they see promise, especially against the Eagles, whether they're injured or not.
See, I could see them. I could see them winning that past game against the Eagles, and then like next season have a bad start, and then just fire everyone.
No, they're not going to.
And then it was like all for.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they lose like 5 in a row to start the season,
even if they start 0-8, I don't know if the Bucks. I don't know if the Glazers would fire Todd Bowles, only because they don't have a reputation of firing coaches midseason.
I think it's only happened once, right? With the Glazers.
What would no? It was Mark Dominic. It was Mark Dominic. They let Lovie Smith finish that 1 year.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because the Falcons,
what did they go like 2-8 down the stretch or something? Yeah. They let him finish that season before they let him go and promoted Dirk Cutter. If they wanted to fire him, which was their intention all along, they could have done it 4 weeks sooner.
That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of Dominic,
Shiano.
but then I was actually thinking what you were with Lovie when he got replaced.
Yeah.
By,
yeah, that was a slow burn. Like I know that people were still kind of argue that. Lovey kind of got screwed, and I would argue that maybe if he had another year with Jameis,
it still would have been the same Jameis.
It still would have been the same Jameis, but I don't know if that team would have been marginally better. Because even Jameis, Jameis at his most Jameis won 7 games.
Yeah.
Did have 1 year where they won 9 games, and that's what kept Cutter around.
You know who won more games?
Todd motherfucking Bowles and Baker Mayfield.
That's right.
They won a playoff game, too.
And Josh Freeman won 9 games.
Hey, Lummy, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Josh Freeman won 10.
Oh, that's right. With 10-6, and they missed the playoffs.
It's the Lummy Sports Show, but when is it going to be the Lummy and Rhett Sports Show?
I think it's the Lummy Sports Show with Rhett.
Oh, yeah. That's how I introduced it this
morning.
With
Rhett? Because I'm looking at it on YouTube right now, and it just shows the Lummy Sports Show.
Well, the best part is that, Rhett's the one who fills that out, so.
Hey, great show, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
And put it this way. If you remember when I answered, I said, hang up. Jesus. I said, it's the Lummy Sports Show with Rhett. I'll always give you that second. Man, we got a lot of calls here. 315.
What up? It's Not So Smart Ninja Boy Longwood.
What's up, Ninja Boy?
Hey, I say we got to give it up for the fans of Tampa Bay for that playoff game because it was not a sea of green.
Nope.
It was 85% Bucks fans, and it came across great on the TV, and it felt good for once to not be pissed off that you see a bunch of Philly fans there. That was great. I loved it. And even my kid was like, damn, Dad.
Listen, I was there. It was loud, and I was getting goosebumps from the beginning. And, well, they didn't have a flyover, which was kind of disappointing.
Oh.
But like, on when defense and when the offense, the first 2 drives, I was getting goosebumps on the amount of fans, like participation and not selling their tickets to Eagle fans or the Eagle fans just not showing up, whatever it was, because the Bucks fans that I knew were still trying to buy tickets, and I thought it was going to be all Eagle fans or just empty seats and things like that, but it was a packed crowd. Definitely everyone showed up.
I think we learned our lesson from that Week 3 game because you remember me and Brian from Philly went. You were there, Lummy.
Yep.
They're fucking dickheads. All the Philly fans that were there, like they were stepping on. So you know how they do the flags in the end zone or whatever. I got video on my phone. There were all these fuckers in our section, like standing on the flag and stomping on it, scraping their feet on it, and not allowing people to pull it up and over the crowd. So it was just stuck for like 10 minutes. And a bunch of people got kicked out.
Piece of shit scumbag fans.
Just garbage.
The first game I took my kid to was in Philly when we put 45 on him, and Winston threw. I did okay, Lummy. I'm gonna bring up a Winston memory. Don't get triggered. He had one of his best games as a rookie. Threw 4 different touchdowns to 4 different receivers. His uniform and cleats are in Canton because of that.
Mike Evans' best career game, I think, too.
Yep. So we're walking in, and there's this fucking disgusting piece of shit Philly chick just pissing right in front of everybody. And my kid's
nice.
like 9 years old. I'm like, yep, that's what you got to deal with here. And what's up with this defense come playoff time?
Fuck.
It is unreal come playoff time.
I was worried. I was, part of the reason I was ready to move on from Todd Bowles at the 75% point of the regular season was because of the regression of the defense. I was worried about it. Like this was, that's Todd Bowles' bread and butter. This defense has been above average ever since he's been here. And even when they're bad at their worst, they're not the worst in the league. But for a while, dude, they were looking fucking awful.
No, hold on. C.J. Stroud,
for a little while.
And I know C.J. Stroud, he's got his games up and down, but I mean, they made him look like probably the greatest quarterback in, the history of.
Well, it's a rookie quarterback, and it's the Buccaneers. It's what we do.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
We make him look like Joe Montana, so.
Hey,
or
Todd,
the first guy off the bench.
Todd Bowles actually has a decent record against rookie QBs these last couple of years, or I think since he's even been here in Tampa. They have dispelled that rookie QB bullshit. Because it used to be so bad, but I think there's only a couple that have gotten us these last few years.
It was kind of like how the Rays do it too. The Rays, if it's a guy that's getting his first couple of starts, the Rays are just going to get fucking slammed.
I've noticed with the Lightning that they kind of do that with some of the old guys that come through that used to play. Like I was watching the Minnesota game a couple weeks ago, and I don't remember the name of the guy for the Lightning, but he.
If they come to play us, they'll have 2 goals, 3 assists.
Well, fucking Bogosian had a goal on the Lightning a couple of weeks ago.
It's like they give him the wink and nod.
Yeah,
I was like,
this defenseman, bro. They had him lined up as a winger, and he got a fucking goal. I was sitting there with my roommate, and we were stunned. And
Another take on the Lightning. Don't give up on them. They've got some studs up here in Syracuse. I'm telling you, they got some studs up here. They do,
but the Lightning got to come around at some point, man. They got to start winning some games here.
They got to turn it on quick.
You're getting to the point where you can lose a couple more, but it's starting to get a little uncomfortable if you're hoping to make the postseason.
It's so funny up here. People up here don't understand minor league hockey. They get pissed off when a guy gets called up down to Tampa. Oh, I just started liking him. Jerk off. That's his dream to go to the NFL. I mean, NHL. Goddamn, I'm high.
That's all right. We appreciate it. Fuck it. All right. Well,
man, that was a sweet Godwin touchdown too. That fucking touchdown paid me $125.
Did you see the video of Baker after he threw it? He ran down to the end zone and he's like, "Man, fuck it, Chris is down there somewhere."
Yeah, he was running along the sidelines. Yeah, he was. Yeah. I mean, it looks like there's obviously when you're winning, you're having fun, but. I think a lot of those guys are just having fun. And that's what it's about. And you got to give credit to Todd Bowles, too, because Todd Bowles is keeping that locker room loose.
Yeah, and that's...
Yeah, I'm tired of him getting shit on. I'm tired of Todd Bowles getting shit on.
I think he deserves a lot of credit. I can understand why people were frustrated. Like, I was frustrated with him. Holding on to timeouts is something that I don't think is ever going to go away.
No.
Not throwing the fucking challenge flag when he needs to. That's one of those things that I don't think is going to go away. But... The cohesiveness of this Bucs team, he deserves all the credit for. Like, the biggest difference between the Eagles and the Lions, I would say straight up the Eagles are a more talented team than Detroit, but Detroit is better coached right now, and they're just a better team. They don't have a fucking diva wide receiver breaking up the locker room.
Nope, and they got Dan Campbell who's keeping that shit together.
Yeah,
and they're believing
to go in there and punch him in the mouth early and take that fucking crowd out of it.
They need to do the same thing they did against Philly. They need to just the first 2 drives put up points, whether it's field goals or touchdowns. I'm happy they kicked that field goal in that first drive and they didn't go for it because I think that would have deflated them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would try to go
100%. For it. Take points when you can get them.
Exactly. Even later in the game, they took a field goal later in the game.
Yep. Yeah, the 54. I think it was 54 yarder.
Yeah, dude. How about Money McLaughlin, dude? He's been awesome this year.
All right. So what was the better pickup, Baker Mayfield or McLaughlin?
I think the Baker stands are going to fucking hate this one, but statistically, I think you have to say Chase McLaughlin because he directly addressed the need of why the Bucs went and got him. Like Ryan Suckup was good.
I'm a huge Baker guy, but I agree.
Ryan Suckup was good inside 50, but outside 50 it was a gamble. It was like 50-50.
I was going to say 45 for Suckup.
Yeah. I mean beyond 45 he was a little bit of a gamble, but McLaughlin has hit everything. He hit a career high. I think it was 59?
Yeah, he
hit 58 or 59 this
year. Twice.
He's fucking awesome.
He had the best year for a Buccaneer kicker, and that's crazy considering we had Grammatica, Suckup,
Yeah, I was a huge Ryan Suckup fan, but Chase
Brian.
McLaughlin just having a little bit more power behind that leg. If he can stay consistent next year, it's going to be one of the best free agent signings I think Light has ever made.
Yeah, I have to agree.
And it's a
All right,
fucking
guys.
kicker we're talking about.
It's a kicker.
Yeah.
Who's talking about
Yeah.
a kicker? But yeah, no, he's good because obviously he's keeping games close and making those helping the defense out too with those 3 points. You know, instead of getting it at the 40 or 50 for the opposing team, he's making them, and we're getting it back at the 25. So definitely.
I know I've become a huge Baker mark, but man, you think about the balls this guy had. He said, you know what? He goes, I'm going to bet my whole NFL life on going to fucking Tampa Bay, following Tom Brady, and putting my career on the line, and look what he does.
Yeah, he's having his best season yet. So pay the man. I think 3 years,
$70 million.
it's going to be more.
You think so?
I think
you got to go by that quarterback market.
Yeah, I think he's going to get paid right around 30, maybe a little bit north of 30, but I don't think it'll be more than like 35 a year. No way.
No, there's.
But
yeah.
it'll be like a I think a 3-year deal is fair.
Well, I think a 3-year deal is perfect. So, all right, Longwood, keep getting high.
All right, guys.
See you, Ninja.
Have a great day.
See you, Gary.
Woo! Well, you know who the next big team is. Here, watch this. Watch this. Ready? Another surprise.
Go, Pack, go!
And I know you probably watched that game, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was your take in the first half? With
I
the
was
Packers?
fucking stoked because I took Packers plus 7.5.
I saw that. You bet them twice on accident.
I accidentally bet twice because for some reason Hard Rock has done that to me a few times.
No,
has it done that to you?
Yes, it has. It's happened to me. It happened to me in the box.
So it's just a bug.
Oh, it's a bug. Yeah.
Okay.
It actually had
All right.
me bet. I think it was Arizona like 4 weeks ago, 3 times, and it was like a $10 bet on each. And I remember looking at Ashley and I go, "Motherfucker, man! I got."
Yeah.
She goes, "You better hope they win." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit."
That's what I'm saying.
And they covered, luckily. But I was like, "Motherfuckers!"
I would have been so fucking pissed if I lost that bet twice.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, I bet I took the over and under, which I was very happy with on that one.
You know, I've been getting a little more comfortable betting games because props are my go-to. I fucking love props. I have
Yes.
3 different apps on my phone for props. I have Scam Picks, Underdog Fantasy, which I haven't used yet. I just signed up for the deposit bonus, and then I've been using one called Chalkboard lately,
Okay.
which actually does give you a deposit bonus as well. So I threw in $100, got 100 back, and it allows you to take alternative lines for more or less money.
Okay.
So let's say, I've been doing a lot of basketball on it lately.
Yeah.
Let's say LeBron James, his line is 21 points, 21.5 points. Well, if I don't like 21.5 for whatever odds, like let's say it's minus 130 odds. So what is that, like 1.35x or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
If I don't like those odds, I can basically take a more aggressive line, or I can take a couple points down for, less of a multiplier. But you can build it, mix and match however you want on Chalkboard. I would say for player props, Chalkboard is the one that I like best so far.
So you definitely would like teasers then.
Teasers.
Yeah, teasers is when you can do multiple games and get the line up, and like it's almost like a parlay, but you get more points.
Yeah.
You get a 6-point parlay. So, let's say Sunday the Steelers were plus 11, and you do a 6-point. Obviously, you get them plus 18. Then you parlayed it with the Bucks. I won that one too. Bucks. I think that went to plus 9, and I think I took whatever. I took another. I think I took the Packers on Saturday. And I teased them all together, and it was like, let's say you bet 10, you won like 22.
Mm-hmm. I just like where I can build a ticket that feels realistic, and my $5 turns into $50.
Yeah,
65. Because if I'm just betting on 1 or 2 games, 5 to win 15, it's cool, but unless I'm building revenue.
yeah, you gotta do the slow roll too. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's getting used to the small bets. The 2 legs, the 3 legs, poor Brian from Philly, man. We were doing prize picks pretty hard in the paint at the end of 23, and we were doing like 4 to 6 mans every day.
Yeah, no, I would love those 6-man ones.
I love those 6-mans when they fucking hit, but it's always like 5 out of 6, 4 out of 6, and that's how parlays are. But learning to get more consistent with 2 and 3 mans has helped me get more success when I do run 4 mans and 5 mans. I haven't won a 6-man in a while, but the last time I did, I won 2 of them in a day.
I'm not doing Prize Picks anymore.
Yeah, scam picks, bro. I just keep it installed because they give me promo money all the time.
I've seen that too. 641. That's the only time I bet it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Brandon the Quad.
What's up,
Brandon
pimp?
the Quad?
We're headed back. We're all.
Well, Brandon the Quad, that was a really, you know what? The one time I said, let's make it quick, Brandon, you actually made it quick, and I didn't ask you to make it quick. Are you still there? Brandon, obviously you're in the. Oh, I'm glad you can hear us. We can't hear you. You must be in the cornfields of Iowa. Now we got the mom on
Oh,
there.
God. They got him hanging out the back of the back of their car.
They'll call you back up without Bluetooth.
All right.
Okay.
Woo.
It shouldn't be that funny, but
No. But
because I can just picture their minivan flying down the road. Sounds like the windows were down.
yeah, all the windows are down.
Fucking cruising, man. Her
Brandon-
hair is going everywhere.
Brandon's got two.
She's probably ripping
Miller
a
lights.
heater.
Yeah, Miller lights going. Brandon's got a little cooler next to him.
He's back there firing off nickel bets.
He,
He's betting 5 cents on Iowa basketball.
Mom, I need to put a quarter in the account. Iowa's line just dropped to half a point. Especially with the women's basketball. I mean, they got the I don't know her name because I don't really give a crap about women's basketball. But hold on, here he is. He probably wants our take on nickel bet games here. What's up, Brandon? Is it better? Yeah, it's better. Are you holding it with your Cobra?
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
We're just almost to Missouri.
When'd you leave?
Because we stayed in Panama City Beach for 2 days.
Panama Beach?
Panama City. We stayed in Panama City Beach for 2 days.
Oh, nice. There you
Nice.
go. Are you putting any? Since we were talking about betting, are you going to put any nickel or quarter bets on the playoffs this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend was awesome.
Yes, it was, Brandon. You got laid and you saw a lot of boobies and you went to the dollhouse. I mean, everything
And
went
did
perfect
it,
for you this weekend.
Going to the Raiders, like I said.
We should see, shouldn't we? What if? See, I don't think Brian Belichick can go to the Cowboys if they fire Mike McCarthy. Bill Belichick and Jerry Jones would fucking bump heads.
Yeah, it seems like there's gonna be a power struggle there. I understand that a little bit more since you mentioned it the first time, and every time they mention Belichick to Dallas, that's all I think about.
But I mean, I could see him going to Vegas. I could see. Who the fuck is
Yeah,
that? Oh.
I think he's going to go to the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him. I mean, they.
You don't think he goes to the NFC? Because I was thinking about that. Like, he just interviewed with the Falcons, and like I could see him going to the Raiders, but in a division where you got to see Pat Mahomes every year,
Yeah, that's true.
and then you got to see Sean Payton. I don't know how good the Broncos are going to be next year with what they do at QB, but you're going to see another good coach in Sean Payton, a decent coach, I'll say that. And then you see the Chargers, which no one knows what they're going to be next year with a new head coach, but
Which could be Jim Harbaugh.
yeah, shit, that's true too.
They say that John Harbaugh's going to the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, plus two, I don't see. I mean, everyone in the Vegas loves. What's it? Antonio Pierce, right? No, isn't it? Antonio? No, what is his name?
AP, yeah, Antonio Pierce.
Oh, okay, so I got it right. All right. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him stay. I mean, I think they want to stay there, but they had to do the Rooney Rule. I forgot where I was listening to. But I heard that.
I think if he doesn't get the job, it's just another example of a long line of interim head coaches getting absolutely hosed. It happened with what was the guy's name in Carolina? I think it was Steve Downs.
Yeah, the
last year.
Yeah, the defense coordinator.
Yeah, bro, he had that team playing so fucking well, and then they went and hired Frank Reich, and look at what happened to that. I think Antonio Pierce has proved that he is the Raiders in a good place. He's a passionate coach, and I think sometimes it helps when you have a coach who's already passionate about the culture that you have as a team. Because like the Raiders' culture as a team, I feel like is a little different than like the Bucks or I want to say like the Packers, but I don't know. This guy just seems like a big Raiders fan. He seems like a good fit for the team, and if he doesn't get the job, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they give $100 million to Jim Harbaugh, I mean, that's an investment that they want to make is ownership. So I also understand that point of view.
That makes the best sense, I think.
Now, Brandon, are you going to be our USFL, XFL,
UFL, the UFL, the
yeah.
United Football League,
Are
buddy.
you going to be our correspondent for that?
Yeah, because the XFL's coming too.
What?
They're banding together now. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I watch a lot of games.
Yeah, the UFL.
Yeah, the USFL and the XFL have become one. They birthed a baby, and it is the United
what?
Football League.
I don't want to get too deep into that, but Brandon, are you good?
Yeah, I think that's going to be badass.
Me too. I'm pissed off about it.
I think it'd be
though.
a little more fucking badass if they had the Tampa Bay Bandits instead of the stupid ass Memphis Showboats. But at least we got three fucking Texas teams.
Well, that was my argument right there, right? That's what I was like kind of holding back from giving you. Really, does Arlington, does fucking Houston and San Antonio, maybe San Antonio, give San Antonio a team. But why does Houston and Arlington need a team? Birmingham, DC Defenders, Michigan. Are you fucking?
Well,
I'll give Seattle the team.
you
Fine,
and
give
Rhett
Memphis
should be
Showboats.
the general manager for one of the XFL teams.
But it doesn't make any sense where they're putting the fucking teams. God, give the Iowa Barnstormers a fucking shot then. I mean, fucking Texas needs 3 fucking teams. I mean, does DC really need another fucking team there?
Come on, the DC Defenders are iconic. I think they were one of the more recognizable XFL teams during that rebrand.
What's with the Tampa Bay Bandits?
I love the Tampa Bay Bandits. They sucked. They were last in the rankings in their only year in the their only year in the renewed USFL.
Yeah, well.
But I wish they would have gone with a more friendly market than, Memphis, Birmingham.
But that's what I was saying about the
Because
friendly market.
St. Louis is awesome.
St. Louis is good. I'll give this is the teams I would have no problem going with because it kind of is like a different market. And St. Louis, San Antonio, Memphis.
Well,
all right, Brandon.
I'll call in next week
All right,
when
thank
I'm at
you.
home.
All right, see you, Brandon.
All right, be safe.
I'll give it to St. Louis, San Antonio, Memphis. I'd even get Birmingham just because they have been there. And other than that,
You don't like Michigan?
where's that in Michigan?
Michigan Panthers? I don't know where it is in
What,
Michigan.
in fucking
but
Detroit? Okay. Well, if anything, don't give it to Tampa then, whatever. Give it to fucking Orlando.
Oh, God.
But I'm saying, right? Have it be in a market that, they don't have NFL football. I mean, don't give it to Orlando. You know what I mean? But I'm
Just
saying.
one Florida team. Like if it was Miami, if it was Miami, if it was Tampa, if it was Jacksonville, who gives a shit?
Orlando,
But
I mean,
just
anywhere.
one team in Florida because I feel like you're really missing the boat.
3
and I know
teams in Texas, no teams in California.
I'm surprised it was 8 teams.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to have a little bit more, to be honest with you.
I thought it was going to be 12.
I thought it would be at least 10.
Yeah.
10 or 12. Can you even do a playoff with 10 teams?
Yeah.
6 make it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because you got 12 too. So I mean, I don't know. I just for some reason I don't understand the whole 3 in Texas thing. I mean, obviously The Rock runs it. Maybe he just. I mean, like I said, San Antonio, St. Louis definitely. I mean, St. Louis technically deserves an NFL team, in my opinion.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they proved that during that initial run. I think they had an Alliance of American Football team. An AAF team. I want to say they had a St. Louis team, but the Battlehawks were the most well-attended team that first year.
Yeah,
they sold out every week. Them in Seattle sold out every week.
Yeah,
I would have been fine with Seattle over another fucking Texas team.
Yeah, I think they should have given one of those Texas teams to someone else. I mean, I think it would have been funny if they would have just played at some where big in college, go to Oklahoma then too. Go put a team in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe where the Sooners play, right? You could probably get a little bit of attendance, right? Nebraska doesn't have a team.
If you put them at, where Oklahoma plays, that big-ass stadium is going to look empty on TV.
You don't think everyone's going to show up there, that, 108,000 people?
Yeah, not quite 108,000.
Maybe 8,000?
Maybe. On opening weekend, yeah.
Listen, Red, how many people are really in D.C. going to go to the D.C. Defender games? Let's be honest here.
After the first 2 weeks, nobody.
After the first week,
After
nobody.
the first, yeah.
After they give away 20,000 tickets. I mean, the Redskins or whatever. The Commanders struggle with attendance.
We are Commanders.
Well, I guess they're in Arlington right now, aren't they? In Virginia.
Bum ba-dum bum 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 bum.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. Let's just okay. We'll talk about the fucking coaches right now because I don't want to get it down this UFL or whatever the fucking league is because the shit like that just pisses me off. They're gonna shove it down our throats in March.
Minor league football makes you mad, or
Yeah,
just the the planning for it.
The planning for
all
it.
the Texas
The
teams.
planning for it. All the Texas teams. Not even giving Florida team, because I had fun going to the Vipers games.
Yeah.
When they were here.
They were not good, but they had one almost good game where they lost to Josh Johnson, Bucks legend. Hey, I think you were going to get to this earlier, but I didn't want you to get distracted. Hoss83 asks in chat,
Yes,
Lummy Rhett,
that was my question. Yes.
if you were to move to another state, would you switch your allegiance from the Bucks to another team? Truthfully, I mean, you're wasting your time asking that question, brother. I can't imagine myself rooting for another team just because I live there. Like, I couldn't be one of those people. Maybe I could go to the games and have a good time, but I would be that dickhead wearing my Bucks jersey or my Bucks t-shirt.
Yeah, but if they're not playing the Bucks, at all,
I would be that guy. I would. I'm not like
totally
if I move to
disagree
another
with
state,
you.
it's going to be Tennessee. So I wouldn't go to a fucking Titans Colts game wearing a Titans jersey. I would go wearing.
You'd wear a Bucks jersey? You're that guy?
Yes, the fuck I am.
See, I told Ashley she could never wear a fucking Dolphins jersey going to a Bucks game, even when the Dolphins were playing. So, I'm not that guy.
I'm usually not that guy. Like 9 times out of 10, if I were really in that situation, I would wear regular clothes. I would wear neutral clothes.
Yeah, but I would probably cheer
look
for the home team. I would cheer for the Titans at that point. I would try to see what I'm saying is that I would invest.
I'd get into
in
it
Titans.
I'd get into it with the crowd. You know what I mean? If they make a bit, like if I'm watching a football game, it doesn't matter what football game it is. If there's a fucking pick six, I'm gonna cheer. I'm gonna like get loud. I'm maybe like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like I'll do that because I just love. It's the love of the game, you know?
Yeah, but see, like, so let's say I moved to Tennessee in the Titans, right? And I would start following the Titans. I'd start getting into it. Maybe I'd buy a Titans shirt. I'd go to the games. I'd probably start learning more about the Titans. I'd cheer for it. I'd become
fucking Hinstar
because you're
over
living
here.
there.
Okay.
Well, hold on. I'd still cheer for the Bucks, but I'm in that city now.
You're just gonna get a collection of Titan stuff.
But if I'm going to be there for a long term, maybe 10, 20 years, I'm going to invest in the team. You know what I mean? I mean, I think that's the
I can
way it should
understand
go.
that, but I'm only going to invest in the team when my team comes to town. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to go to a local game unless I'm invited, unless I have a free ticket or someone wants me to go with them or whatever the case may be. Like, I will not invest in the team that much to where, on a whim, I'm going to open SeatGeek and go to the game. Like, I do that with the Bucks. The Bucks-Jags game, I almost fucking went to that game. I was 2 seconds away from buying tickets, but then I made the mistake of telling my mom I was thinking about going to the game, and she gave me an earful, so I didn't go to the game.
Oh,
because it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah, but see,
but I've done that in the past where I woke up and I'm like, you know what? I feel like going to the fucking Bucks game today, so I just go.
But see,
I couldn't imagine doing that with another team.
See, I like sports. I like football. I like.
Yeah.
And a Sunday that if there's an NFL football team that I can go to, and there's not my local team Tampa, I'd go to it.
If they're not playing at the same time, there's a lot of little different technicalities into my reasoning as to why I wouldn't want to go to the game. Like, I'm a football fan just like you are, so I totally get it. If I can go see a game live, it's just like a concert. Like, if there's a band that you like or a musician that you like and you get the chance to go see them live, you're not going to find an excuse not to.
Exactly.
Even if it's someone that's not your favorite, like, if you have a good shot at going, you'll go. I think I'm just saying the big difference between like maybe me and you is I would not go out of my way to go to that game if it wasn't a team that I was emotionally invested in. Like, I would not spend $200 for a decent ticket to go see that team if the Bucks weren't playing in that game.
That's where the difference is that I would invest in that team, in that town.
If it's a team I'm not going to watch every week or again, I'm not going to be rooting for, like if I wouldn't watch their game on TV, if I wouldn't go out of my way to track their game down on TV, then I don't know. I love the game, but unless I get a free ticket or something, I'm not going to that game unless the Bucks are playing.
239.
I had to call in and defend myself.
Hints are only one call a day, buddy. 813.
Hey, it's South Tampa. Hey, I definitely will go. I travel a lot for work or used to, and, I might end up in, like, Buffalo, and the Sabres are playing the Devils that night. I don't care. Like, you know how it's so easy to get one ticket anyways,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And it's so freeing to go to a game by yourself because you can do whatever the hell you want. Oh, you want to go to the bathroom? No, I don't want to go to the bathroom right now. I want to wait. Like, you can literally go stand over here, walk over here, grab a beer here, do this. Like, it's just it's kind of like traveling on your own is okay, but like going to a game by yourself, if you don't have to be that person who has to sit with someone, is pretty killer. I mean,
yeah,
you can.
It is definitely my preferred way of going to the game.
Just by yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
No, there you go. I mean, listen, when I used to go to the Panhandle all the time, I used to go to Pensacola Blue Wahoo games, or I kind of invested in them a little bit because I'd go up there and I thought it was like a cool little, but I think they were the minor league team for the fucking Reds. You know what I mean? I didn't give a shit, but I was going there. The stadium was there. It was kind of like, hey, this is a team that I find interesting. The games are fun. Yeah. Hey, fuck it.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, right now, I know Brian's not there, but the Lightning are finally selling their Gasparilla jerseys.
Yeah, I saw those things. Yeah.
So what are? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm driving down to get one right now.
Oh, are you?
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I've been seeing on social media they have all these teaser clips for a date tomorrow, but they have the jerseys on sale today. So what are they revealing tomorrow? Do you know?
I think they're revealing that jersey, but it's for season ticket holders.
Oh, because I'd seen them post the jersey, and I saw it got leaked. Did you see the All-Star jerseys this year? Those look fucking horrible.
I mean, what about the third jersey they were talking about? That Lightning jersey looks
the
like
black
Blue
one?
Blue Lives Matter. I mean, literally, that is like, I did better projects in the passing period before the class project was due. Like, I mean, it looks like they spent 15 minutes on it.
Oh, they probably did.
Like, it's insane.
So, 1,904 are available of the Gasparilla jerseys. I like them.
Yeah, I like it. They've had that Gasparilla logo for a couple of years, and I think they did one year an alternate where it was a black jersey. It was like black and tan or something. Similar design. But this one's badass.
Yeah, I like this one better.
The skull and the cross
I think
swords.
this is the one you're thinking of right here, right?
Couldn't sell them.
That's 2023.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let them sell. The NHL wouldn't let them sell them, so they would auction off the ones on the ice, right? So those are expensive, obviously, and they're limited. So the NHL released kind of their pull on that. They would only let you sell the pregame skate jerseys if they were the Hockey Fights Cancer ones, the purple ones, or the camo ones for the military.
Nice.
And now they let you do. Now I think other teams are going to be doing this for their specific town.
Yeah, that's cool. And I like that it's a local twist. You know what I mean? It's a Gasparilla thing. They're a Tampa team. As far as I know, they're the only Tampa team that even acknowledges Gasparilla as a fucking thing.
Well, I fucking hope so. It's a little Tampa thing, though, Gasparilla is.
Yeah, but I've never seen the Bucks, do anything for Gasparilla or the Rays. I mean, I know the Rays aren't playing, and the Bucks typically don't play.
Well, you mean the St. Pete Rays?
St. Pete Rays, the St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
So they're not included. They don't get to have fun in Gasparilla. That's a Tampa thing.
Right. The Kenwood Rays.
Kenwood Rays. Wellwood,
yeah.
or whatever the hell the place is,
I just
actually.
wanted to chime in. You guys have a great show. Have an awesome day. I'm going down Bayshore. We live in an unbelievable town.
We sure
do.
Let's go.
It's like 50 degrees outside, nice and sunny, no snow. He's driving down Bayshore looking at the water going.
Yeah, I think it's like a high of 60 degrees today. It's going to be beautiful. I thought about taking a bike ride.
Oh, there you go. You should.
I should. I need to get back on it. I've been gaining a lot of fucking weight. I've been pulling an Alex Stein.
I was going to say, you don't want to pull an Alex Stein on you.
I haven't gained quite that much weight. I've gained probably like 5 to 10 pounds, but it's still too much. Still too much. I got to get the poison out.
So you see Harbaugh going to the Chargers, right?
Yeah, Chargers or Raiders.
And where do you
think it'll be.
And where do you see? Well, I mean, he did interview for Atlanta, but then do you see Belichick going to Atlanta? We'll cut that. We'll get these coaches figured out for you here, Rhett.
That'd be hilarious. I think if that'd be the funniest thing ever.
If he went to Atlanta.
Yeah, if they ask him in the job interview, like, tell us about a time you overcame adversity.
Well, you heard this guy Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, one time we were in a Super Bowl. we were down 25 points.
Yeah, remember that one time? We was that was in the first Super Bowl they won, was it? They were down 25.
What, the Pats?
Yeah.
Fuck no, that was like their fourth.
No, I know, but I'm saying the first game they were in it against the Rams, right? They were the underdogs coming into it. They
when they won their first title, they won by a field goal.
2001.
And then they didn't win in 2002 because motherfucking boys did. And then 2003, 04 they won. 2003 they beat the Panthers?
Yeah, the Panthers.
And then 2004 they beat the Eagles. That was when McNabb was throwing up on the sideline.
Yeah, with T.O.
So they went back to back. And then they went 07 lost.
Lost to the Giants, right? When that was their undefeated season.
Lost to the Giants in 07, and then they went 2011 and they lost to the Giants again.
Yeah, Eli Manning got that ass.
And then pretty much every year after that, I think they were in the Super Bowl or in the AFC Championship game. They won like 10 straight AFC championships.
I could see him going to Atlanta, though, like you said. Go to the NFC and then also the owner. I mean, Art Blank or whatever the fuck his name is.
Arthur
Blank.
Arthur Money.
Yeah, Arthur Money from Home Depot. Dropping some dimes on him. What about Vrabel? Vrabel and Derrick Henry. I'm thinking they're a package deal. No, whatever. See, I thought they were. That's where I think Dallas. That's where he should.
Yeah.
Go.
I think if he can play nice with Jerry, which he probably could, Dallas could be a decent fit. I thought about Washington, and I know it doesn't seem like on surface level a very sexy job, but for a young head coach, they've got a shit ton of money to spend. They got a shit ton of picks. They have some pretty good draft revenue over the next couple of years, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I think they've been really, really building up their resources over there. And I think they have, with the cap going up this year, I think they're going to be the team with the most spending money.
Yeah, and I think those owners are going to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the thing too. You have new owners who are ready to pump money into the team and get people excited and sell tickets. So if you start winning games, you're going to start to see. I wouldn't be surprised if you see new uniforms, new stadium, new fucking. Maybe they rebrand the team again. I don't know. At this point, when you've already done it twice, do you just have to commit to Commanders? Because even my mom thinks it's horrible.
Yeah, I don't see them changing the name unless they go back to the color.
They should have done Red Wolves from the beginning.
Yeah, they should have. That would have made sense.
Yeah, I mean, the historical aspect of it is something that was right there in front of them. All the fans were doing the heavy lifting. People were putting in the work for them, and they still fucked it up.
You never know. They could change it back. I mean, that could be another spot for Bill Belichick, too. I mean, with the points you kind of laid out, I know he hasn't interviewed there, but it's the NFC.
Oh, shit, dude. But this is the same Bill Belichick who told the Pats after however long that he was willing to give up personnel control to stick around as a head coach, and they were like, thanks, but no thanks. So maybe as eager owners, you trust an experienced guy, but wherever Belichick goes, does he get hired with full personnel control? Because one thing he's proved to me, especially with building that roster in New England, like that team fucking stinks.
It sure does.
And it's mostly his fault because he can't draft. He's not good at it. He kind of hasn't really. Has he ever been good at drafting in the last decade?
Well, his big thing was, he did take Tom Brady in the late rounds.
He sure did.
So, I guess that's always going to be his thing. But we will see. I got a text here from our boy Brian from Philly that says Sirianni getting fired today, 12 noon press conference. I have not seen anything.
It is Black Monday. Or, no, the fuck it's not. It's Wednesday.
Well,
what am I talking about?
Our sports show is on Wednesday, Rhett.
Dude, I'm so...
Is it Black Wednesday today? I guess it's Black Wednesday, everybody. This is normally when the football coaches get fired, which normally happens after the regular season, not at the playoff first round. Bye, Rhett. Rhett,
I forgot where I was for a minute. I'm sorry.
Rhett, you come with some fantastic stats out of your ass, and then it's like if you just tuned in for a second and you missed the first hour of the show where you're just spitting off fucking Patriots Super Bowls and this and every reason this, and then you come with it's Black Monday. That's when coaches get fired. You're like, who the fuck is this guy? And what the hell does he know?
Oh, good God. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We are back to our regularly scheduled misinformation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't make me threaten you with getting a baby face back on here.
Do you ultimately see Sirianni getting fired, or do you think the Eagles give him one more chance? Because
I mean, if there's a press conference, that's not a good chance.
I haven't seen anything at all. This is the time of year where I get 99% of my football news from Twitter, and I got post notifications on for Bucs beat writers, but I've also got them on for Rap Sheet and Schefter and all those other bozos. So most of the time, if something gets retweeted or talked about, like boom, that's how you see it.
I mean, have you seen anything on that?
No, I have not. That's what I was checking for. So when I went and looked at my phone, I kind of forgot where I was, so I just fucking forgot.
Of course, ESPN 2 hours ago comes out and says, could Bill Belichick stabilize the Eagles?
Yeah, stabilize them as losers.
Yeah. So, I mean, hold on. There is a press conference, but maybe it is about Kelsey.
To address his future so he hasn't announced his retirement, is what I'm getting from this headline here.
Yeah, final call on career coming when it's time. And maybe, you know what? Maybe that's the 12 o'clock press conference. Maybe it's addressing Kelsey, the most popular center, I guess, in the NFL, because I don't know how many centers in the whole NFL that have ever got a press conference to retire, possibly, if that is what it is.
That is true. He is one of the most over offensive linemen in league history. When you think back, aside from Joe Thomas in Cleveland, who even then, like, people knew him and they liked him, but they didn't like him as much as they liked Kelsey. So can you think of any other O-lineman?
No, I'm trying to think. No, because he's still playing. Same thing about that guy from the 49ers.
Tony Mandarich?
The 49ers?
No, I'm talking about, like, in history, the over offensive lineman. You know, Tony Mandarich was super popular for a year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Tony Mandarich killed it for everyone else. Every offensive lineman.
He really put a lot of offensive linemen on the map.
Yeah.
Just people who draw attention to that position is really what I mean.
Donovan Smith. In a negative way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's guys that draw attention to the position. That's when they're getting their fucking name called twice a day.
Exactly. Not a good look. No, not really. I mean, like, I was trying to think Trey Williams. That's who I was thinking of. I mean, but he's not like a super famous guy. And I think if you get
he's a popular tackle among people who know offensive linemen.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I know Trey Williams because he's honestly one of the best left tackles in the history of football. And I prayed to God that he would have come to Tampa back in the day.
God, that would have been awesome. You remember how close?
Yes.
Remember how close we were to signing him?
We really wanted Donovan Smith. We wanted those holding calls. I can't wait to watch that Kansas City game and just hear Donovan Smith's number being called every single time for holding or offsides or anything.
Yeah, I don't know who they're going to line up. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know who the edge rushers are for Buffalo. But I'll tell you a guy on that Buffalo defensive line who's a fucking monster is Ed Oliver. I was a big fan of his when he was coming out of LSU, and I really wanted the Bucs to draft him. I think he was in that 2019 class. I wanted the Bucs. Yeah, he was the 9th pick, so he was on the board when the Bucs took Devin White, and I kind of wanted them to take Ed Oliver over Devin White.
Well,
he's a fucking monster.
Devin White's pretty good.
He's straight up. Devin.
What? Devin White isn't that good?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay.
And clearly he didn't work out. He's not going to be here next year.
Well, listen, you know why I like Devin White? I'll give you $1 if you can tell me why I like Devin White. He ended one guy's season.
Stop it. Stop it. You're one of those.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Devin
one of
White
those.
took out Jameis Winston, and that's why Jameis
You're one of
Winston
those.
has not started another game. It makes him look like an asshole that he is.
In chat, Matthew M. brought up another good offensive lineman, Richie Incognito.
Oh, yes, a very good one.
He brought a lot of attention to the offensive line position.
He sure did, and also the twins from Florida.
What, Pouncey?
Yeah, Pouncey brothers.
Yeah.
They also did the same thing. Also, you can think about the Raiders center that missed out on the Super Bowl and ended up in Mexico.
Yeah, he was fucking making a run for the border while the Bucs were kicking the hell out of his team.
Having fucking tequila shots and fucking whores. I mean, that's,
What a way to go out.
Way to go out in Mexico, buddy. Way to go to Tijuana and watch some donkey shows.
He saw the script. He saw the script early, and he was like, brother, I'm not even going to waste my time.
He's like, fuck this. Gannon's going to throw four interceptions. I'm fucking going to watch a donkey show, donkey bar, donkey whatever, have the fucking game in the background. I'll watch him fucking lose.
League MVP, huh?
Yeah, league MVP. That was a great pick. Might as well have given it to Brad Johnson that year. But yeah, let's go. Let's go through our last week's picks because I don't even know how we did.
Yeah, let's do it. I got him.
Listen,
I got him right here in front of me.
I'm excited that I want to keep our 500 above record going.
We had an average week. I would say we only had a couple of misses. It's a condensed slate, so our percentage is not going to be as high.
Of course.
Only 6 games on the slate last week for Super Wild Card Weekend. Cleveland at Houston. We both picked Joe Flacco, and that magic ran out in the second quarter.
Fuck you, Joe Flacco.
Yeah, man, that really sucks. I mean, he was playing so well for so long that like he had to play so shitty to make up for all the games he was playing well in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was at the host hotel taking live bets on it, and I think I took one at 20 and a half.
For Cleveland?
And I looked up, and I go, okay, I can see this. The Browns got the ball. And next thing I know, I was talking to, who was I talking? 843 Bubba or someone. The next thing I know, I got a little, and goes, INT, a pick 6. And I go, yeah, that just happened. I'm good. They're like, no, it just happened again. And I go, oh, fuck, maybe my live bet didn't go in. Oh, it went in.
Oh.
And it turned into, at that point, like a 30 fucking point spread. So, fuck that. Okay, next game. Dolphins, Chiefs.
Yeah, Miami at Kansas City.
Oh, boy, I picked Miami.
I took Kansas City. You took
Yeah, okay. Well, this is not turning out to be a good week. Packers, Cowboys. I probably took Cowboys, didn't I?
Well, the next game I have is Pittsburgh at Buffalo. We did both take the Bills here.
Okay, thank you. I got a 1 win here.
Yeah, there you go. Green Bay at Dallas. We did both take
Green Bay.
Dallas.
All right, another loss. Good thing you fucked up that bet.
Dallas.
You won.
I know. At least I got something out of the deal. L.A. at Detroit.
I picked L.A., didn't I?
No, you rode with the Lions.
All right, go Lions.
I picked fucking L.A. because I thought Matt Stafford was going to do just enough there at the end of the game, but he did not. Philadelphia at Tampa Bay.
I know this one because of your fucking little doodle on the paper.
You liked it, right?
Yeah, I like that little flag you drew.
My little Bucks flag.
I believe we both picked the Bucks on that one.
Yes, we did.
32-9.
I was 3-3 in my picks this week. You were
not good.
Also 3-3.
500. Yeah. You know what? Like I said, let's hope we keep our 500. That was without me even looking for it. So let's go to the division round. I wish I had the NFL sound. I don't think we can play that without getting a copyright. We are going to get a copyright now. That was just too close. Right?
Sorry.
Fuck. Let's see here. Division round, week 1 here. I'm going to try to pull it up. Texans, Ravens. Listen, I'm a huge Ravens fan. Huge Lamar fan.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. I think they're probably one of the best teams around right now. I think Lamar's one of the better quarterbacks. I've said that, and if anyone wants to disagree with me, they can suck my dick. Because I said I wish Lamar would have went to Miami. Miami would right now probably be undefeated, and a number one, if Lamar could throw the ball to Tyreek Hill.
Well, if that person could say something, I would imagine.
Yeah, well.
They would say, Lummy went 1-4 against me in bets. Only one. Okay, well,
the phone lines are blocked up for tomorrow's game. The only one he hit
is when I let him take the Bucks because I felt bad.
Okay, fuck you. I thought you take the Ravens half the fucking season, you dick fuck. So, here we go. Texans, Ravens. Rhett, you know what? I'll let you go first on this one.
I'm taking Baltimore. I said it earlier in the show. I don't see them losing. So I will take the Ravens.
You gonna go out on that limb and pick the Ravens?
Oh, fucking Ravens!
But you did take Houston at +10, right, or +9?
I took it at +10. I got it locked in at +10.
Nice. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna ride with Baltimore on this one too. I'm not gonna take an upset, even though it possibly could happen. But I think Baltimore wins by 6.
Is it a good week for upsets?
Probably.
I hope it is.
I sure do too, because these next games. Green Bay at the 49ers in San Francisco. Current point spread is -8. Holy fucking shit for these point spreads.
Yeah.
Baltimore, right now, according to ESPN, that's what I'm looking at. I wasn't looking at. Let me go over to the betting thing here.
9.5 for this game on my bookie here.
My bookie currently, it's minus 9.5. Wow. Okay.
What the fuck?
You know what? I mean, I would love to see the Packers and the Bucks, but I mean, realistically, I'm gonna have to take the 49ers and Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I think the love runs out this week, and that defense is just going to be too much. I did end up taking Jordan Love passing yards. It's still early in the week, so I think it's going to fuck me because I feel like because of what we know about the Niners defense, his passing yards number is just going to go down. But I took it at like 248, so we will see what happens.
I just read chat. It was kind of funny. Sorry. Gooper Lips put Ravens suck. And Little Purple said, what time do the Broncos play this weekend? And he put, what channel? Madden 24 on your Xbox? Oh, yeah.
You're still waiting on your copy, aren't you?
Oh, you know what? Fuck you. How about that one? I thought it was Madden 23, too.
You need to negotiate. When they call you and they say, hey, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, made a little run of the playoffs last year. We're going to have Baker Mayfield back, and we'd love to see if you want to renew your season tickets. You should 110% negotiate. You should say, I am not signing for my season tickets until I have my Madden in my possession.
Hey, the funny thing is, Rhett, that I tried to do that last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers front office when we lost Tom Brady and Rob.
They told you to shove it up your ass.
And pretty much they were like, well, guess what? You're fucked. I'm like, no, what do you mean? They're like, you're locked in this year no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I forgot they did that to a lot of fans.
Dick on your Madden 23 copy.
That's why all the fans showed up to the playoff game, because they were just the season ticket holders who were roped into staying this year, who didn't sell their shit because they couldn't.
Yeah, and they were forced to buy the ticket.
They were forced to go.
Hey, listen, don't besmirch the great Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. So we both got the 49ers?
Yeah, we'll both take San Fran here.
Detroit's
Rock City
hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a 6.5 point spread. I mean, if you've listened to the show for 1 second, then you know which way I'm going, and that would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, can't pick against the boys this week. Have to doodle another flag on here to keep the vibes rolling.
Yes, please do. Let's hope that works out. I know right now that we have some unpopular picks, but you know what? We all picked the Ravens, so Little Purple can go fuck himself. Buffalo Bills Kansas City is going to Buffalo.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes. So I said this on the morning show, and I don't think anyone really understands. Maybe no one thinks this is like as crazy of a stat as I do, but this is Pat Mahomes' first career road playoff game. This motherfucker's played in 3 Super Bowls and won 2 of them, and he has yet to play in a road playoff game. That's pretty bonkers.
Well, guess what? I'm going to do the same thing I did last week.
Pick against Kansas City.
Technically, this can't be my upset special. So I guess my upset special was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Detroit Lions.
There we go.
Because Kansas City right now is plus 2.5 going to Buffalo, which, okay, that makes sense, but not really an upset.
Home field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah?
Bills beat Kansas City and Buffalo and advance to play the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship.
I have shit all over the Bills this year. And the second half of the season, Josh Allen seemingly got his act together. They kind of came out of nowhere to tear up the AFC. So I've talked a lot of shit about the Buffalo Bills, and I will continue to do so. I think Pat Mahomes on the road in his first career playoff game on the road
in snow.
Well,
I guess it doesn't matter. I mean,
yeah, they
Pat
won
Mahomes,
a game in 0 degrees last week, so I don't give a shit how cold it is in Buffalo. I got Kansas City in this one. Feels like the league wants Kansas City, and it feels like a good time for hopefully this to be the best game of the postseason. Whenever these two teams have met in the past, you remember that game in, I think it was 2019. Yes. It was Kansas City, Buffalo.
Yep.
And they scored like 28 points in the last 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, poor Buffalo.
Went to overtime. Josh Allen didn't see the football.
Nope, he sure didn't. They changed the rules.
So maybe something like that happens. But however it happens, I think KC wins.
Oh.
Is that it? Only 4 games. Yeah, I get.
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck.
Oh, fuck. Thank you, Rhett.
Thank you,
As
Lummy.
Instar wanted it to be the Lummy Sports Show, the Lummy and Rhett Sports Show, I guess. I don't know. I'm fine with whatever.
The Lummy Sports Show with Rhett.
There you go.
I'm okay with that.
Scout kicker.
Yeah, Scout Kicker.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Stumpy62 and Neil Mount Plaisir on the super chat today and all the phone calls. We appreciate you. And we'll be back live tomorrow morning. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, 6 a.m. right here on Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. And don't forget, if you want to listen to any of the old stuff, the archives, go to Bubba Army HQ, sign up to be a grunt, or become a lieutenant, and you can download and listen anytime you want. And for all your Bubba Army merch, go to Bubba Army Shop, Bubba Army Store, or BubbaArmyMerch.com and check out all the new stuff that we have there. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you next Wednesday. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.